Okay, so I'm working with the ESP32-S2, and I decided to do some YouTube Live while I was at it because I'm already working on these things. I try to document them, and you can only have so many hundreds of hours of video recorded onto your computer before it gets pretty intense. So I was working with the ESP32-S2, and that is the main microcontroller that I'm using for the Open Muscle project, which is the muscle contraction and detection system. So right now I'm working with the ILI9341 display because there's a lot of stuff I need to do with displays for user interface because I want to the user, or which is going to be people that are trying to train this neural network, to be able to select and have an onboard user interface. Right now I do have the SSD1306 on there, but I am expanding to some TFT screens and just utilizing SPI connections, just trying to familiarize myself with the board. And I thought that it could actually be quite helpful for anyone else that wants to mess around with MicroPython. Again, the reason why I chose MicroPython for this project is because you're able to create a working prototype of anything that you want to do, and of course you're going to want to change the programming language to probably like C++ or something that can be a lot quicker, but it's just amazing to be able to work on the different pieces of your idea just quickly, and MicroPython kind of does that. The reason I want to say it kind of does that is MicroPython it gives you some interesting errors. Let's just take a look at the screen. Let's see what is going on right now. So, okay, it's displaying, right? So one of the funny things is that it doesn't always, this display driver is messed up. REPL seems to add a couple of lines, and the fonts are also becoming messed up when you try to put font to pi. I believe that's the Python library or module that we're using to put the data for the fonts onto the display. So yeah, let me just add the, I forgot to add the window capture for UPyCraft. So I just want to put it on this screen as well. So yeah, so you can see here that, okay, it's just absurd. So display print is what we're gonna do to display anything on the screen and just say hello. And of course, where did it place it? I can't even see hello. It's off screen. So we're gonna display dot reset, which is a soft reset. Okay, it goes back here. I'm gonna type in display dot initialize, which is init. Okay. Display set underscore position is gonna set the position, and we just give it two values, the x and y coordinates. So now I can display .print hello YouTube live, and of course you can't. So yeah, there's some issues with it. It kind of started there and went over to the side. So let's hop back into Python. So MicroPython rather, I'm using the IDE or in REPL environment of MicroPython, or UPyCraft, sorry. And I like UPyCraft, specifically the tools section, where you can just click on serial and it'll tell you what serial connections it believes it can connect to. And so this literally just displays your COM ports. Excuse me, I need some more coffee. This just displays the COM ports that are available on your computer, which is nice. I believe UPyCraft is on Linux, Mac, and also Windows, but I'm using Windows specifically this time around. So we got our boot Pi. I'm going to get rid of this. So I'm REPLed into the board. I'm in COM port 10, and when I load ILI9341X, there's this extra line here, and sometimes it causes that. I don't know why there's this discrepancy of this extra line, but whenever it's there, this doesn't work. And I'm pulling this from a GitHub, and it is quite helpful, but there are just, like I said, a couple of errors, and I don't know whether that's the board's MicroPython firmware or what's going on there. But mostly, I'm just trying to test out YouTube streaming, and thought I would just get my setup and I don't know, just see how YouTube Live worked. Because I've been on Twitch, but I don't like actually playing video games all that much. I kind of like that to wind down and just to come up with ideas, to so to speak, quiet the yapping dog. Because when I'm playing video games, I can actually in the background think about, you know, the inventions or the loopholes that I have. But I'm going to end the stream, and yeah, I just wanted to test it, so thank you for joining. But yeah, I will post links in the description to this driver board. Sorry, to this MicroPython module that's a driver. I guess it's the ILI9341 driver. It's the best way to describe it. And then the code that I found that works with the ESP32-S2 Mini by wemos, and that's the 1.0.0 version board. So I will hopefully get a better tutorial done this weekend, now that I kind of have my screen set up where I can show the different elements, plus I have command prompt here where I can actually show it on the screen and it's not too discombobulated. So echo, hello. So yes, that is working. So that I just don't like to edit. Editing takes too much time, but also I like to show you guys exactly kind of what I'm doing. And there's not too much information on the ESP32-S2 Mini by wemos. It is a mouthful. There's not too much information online, but it was kind of a fun process to discover, okay, which pins could I use? This is the first time I was using SPI connection before. I usually use I2C or I2C. So yeah, a lot of firsts, a lot of fun. We're going to be doing some neural network machine learning. Lots of really fun things coming soon on this channel. And as I'm learning and as I'm experimenting with the Open Muscle project, I'm trying to share as much as possible to document it, to make sure other people can replicate it and improve on it, of course, because, you know, when you try to do something, you're of course going to make mistakes, and you learn quite a bit along the way of those mistakes. But I'm talking your guys' ears off. I'm just going to quit and then hopefully get that video posted today. As always, have a wonderful evening, and please like or subscribe if you like the content. And if you don't, give a thumbs down. Feedback of both, if constructive feedback is always helpful. Later, guys.